On date, a federal appeals court upheld Maryland's ban on assault weapons, reigniting the national debate on gun control. The decision, a victory for gun control advocates, was immediately met with both praise and condemnation. This ruling highlights the deep divisions in American society regarding the Second Amendment and the role of firearms in modern life. The court's decision, penned by Judge Harvey Wilkinson, delves into the complex balance between individual rights and public safety. It also grapples with the legacy of the Supreme Court's landmark decision in the Maryland law enacted in 2013 prohibits the sale and possession of certain semi-automatic firearms, often referred to as assault weapons. These weapons are often characterized by their high-capacity magazines and rapid-fire capabilities. The law also bans magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition. Gun rights groups challenged the law, arguing that it infringed on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. This case, with its far-reaching implications, has drawn national attention. It serves as a microcosm of the larger debate surrounding gun control in the United States. The appeals court's decision is sure to be appealed, potentially setting the stage for a showdown at the Supreme Court. The outcome of this legal battle could have profound consequences for gun laws across the country. Judge Harvey Wilkinson, writing for the majority, emphasized the devastating impact of gun violence in America. He argued that assault weapons, with their ability to inflict mass casualties, pose a unique threat to public safety. Wilkinson maintained that the government has a compelling interest in regulating these types of firearms to protect its citizens. He cited numerous examples of mass shootings where assault weapons were used to deadly effect. The majority opinion rejected the argument that the Second Amendment provides an unfettered right to own any type of firearm. Wilkinson wrote that the Second Amendment, like all constitutional rights, is subject to reasonable restrictions. He argued that the Maryland ban, while undoubtedly burdening some individuals' Second Amendment rights, was justified by the state's interest in preventing gun violence. The court's decision rested heavily on its interpretation of the decision. The Supreme Court struck down a New York law that restricted concealed carry permits. The court held that gun regulations must be consistent with the historical tradition of firearm regulation in the United States. The majority opinion in the Maryland case argued that the state's assault weapon ban was, in fact, consistent with historical regulations. Wilkinson pointed to numerous historical examples of laws restricting dangerous and unusual weapons, including bans on Bowie knives and sawed-off shotguns. He argued that these historical precedents demonstrated that the government has long possessed the authority to regulate certain types of firearms to protect public safety. Judge Julius Richardson, in a sharply worded dissent, argued that the majority opinion trampled on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. He accused the majority of contorting history and ignoring the plain text of the Constitution. Richardson maintained that the Second Amendment guarantees an individual right to keep and bear arms, and that this right extends to modern firearms like those banned by Maryland's law. Richardson argued that the majority's reliance on historical analogs was misplaced. He contended that the firearms banned by Maryland's law are in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful purposes, such as self-defense and hunting. He further argued that the historical examples cited by the majority involved weapons that were not in common use at the time, or that were used primarily for criminal purposes. The dissenting opinion also criticized the majority's characterization of the firearms banned by Maryland's law. Richardson argued that the term assault weapon is a misnomer, and that the firearms banned by the law are not machine guns or fully automatic weapons. He maintained that these firearms are functionally identical to many other semi-automatic rifles that are not banned under the law. Richardson concluded by warning of the dangers of eroding constitutional rights in the name of public safety. He argued that the majority's decision sets a dangerous precedent that could lead to further restrictions on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens.